Let's close that out. Let's close that out. Let's go back here. This one, I can close that out. I can close this. Mute this. YouTube Studio. Content. Yeah, live is the tab I'm looking for. Of course. Turn it on. Save. My twerking friend? You got the wrong guy, Powder. You know that. You know you got the wrong guy. You know I don't do the twerking, man. You know this. You're aware of this. I'm aware of this. What are we doing? What are we doing here, dude? Also, what's up? Good to see you, Powder. How's your day? How's your night? How's your life? How's your strife? How's your wife? How's your life? All of that good stuff. Show me another twerk. There wasn't a first one. There wasn't even a first one. Right? Wait, what the hell did he even say? What the fuck did Marco even say? Wait, no. All right, let's get Streamlabs. Let's get the bot. Let's get this thing. Let's get this motherfucker back on track here real quick. There we go. All right, I turned it off. My bad, dude. Sheesh, I overcompensated. What's up, Jura? What's up, Jamie? How you doing? What's up, Gecko? What's up, Powder? What's up, Marco? Oh boy. What's up, Marco? What's up, Granddang? Good to see you. What's up, Gecko? How are y'all doing? How's your day? How's your night? How's your life? How's your strife? How's your knife? How's your plife? All of that good stuff. How are you? How is you? There's a new buzzword. I don't know what it is though. Technically not a buzzword, but you'll see. But yeah, good to see you. I gotta set the Streamlabs bot. I gotta do something with it really quickly. 1 second. Shoot. Okay, there we go. Save settings. Boom. It got timed the fuck out, dude. Hate to see it. Yeah, that should be a reasonable amount of. Yeah, that's reasonable. There we go. Let's turn that back on. We're good. Get to see y'all. You're cooked in this game. You're cooked. It's over for you. It's GG. It's no re. You're done for. Just over with. Are we playing bingo? Yeah, I could pull up a bingo board really quickly. Streamlabs is so mean. It's only just doing what I tell it to, and I tell it to be a bitch, cause I'm a bitch, right? Let's get that up there. Boom. All right, I gotta find a way to like have the bingo board. Okay, there we go. That's perfect. Good to see y'all. What a day in the server. Yeah, what quite the day, man. Quite the day. Hey, what's up, Rip? You lost in the game? Oh man, I lost the game too. I don't even think you mean that type of game. How's your secular worship going? I mean, there's no worship, so I can't really answer that one accurately, right? You barely woke up? Well, this is an awful way to start your day. I don't know why you're in here. No, just kidding. Unfortunately, your wife is still Christian. SMH, dude. SMH. We don't see any bingo screen. I don't have it on the. I don't have it on the stream, and I don't think I ever will because like, I don't want to incentivize people to filling it out for me, right? Because then people just start spamming or saying this stuff on it just for the sake of it. So I play it with myself. Also, what's up, Ariel? Good to see you. So it's out of control. Might be the next happy. Yeah, dude's he might not make it that long. I don't know if you get this question a lot, but it might be on the bingo board. But why'd you stop believing in Christianity? So for me, I just I stopped believing that God exists because I just didn't see any evidence for God. Right? It was just no good evidence. Reading the Bible is what started me deconstructing, and reading the apologetics and the hermeneutics about it made me realize that people are kind of being dishonest about their intentions for explaining Christianity, and then that led into looking into the evidence for it, and that That's what made me leave. No good evidence, so that's why I left. Binge watching Rick and Morty. I kind of fell out of favor with Rick and Morty after Justin Roiland left, or whatever his name was. Fuck that guy, but yeah, it just wasn't the same after that. Perfect time. Just sat down with some Masoor dal curry, posting in the food channel if you want to see. I always want to see Indian food. Hot take. I think as far as like national cuisines go, I'd say Indian food is like easily third, right? I mean, you have to put Mexican and Italian ahead of it, like you just have to, but easily third, easily. I don't want to. I don't want it to convert to atheism. It's a very hard change. It's a pretty hard change, man. It's tearing down your entire reality around you and building it back up again is always going to suck. It's never ever not going to suck. Sucked for me. I know it sucked for her. For me, I wouldn't want to drive anybody that I'm with to deconstructing necessarily, but I just, as long as they're critically thinking about why they believe what they believe, I'm good with that, right? We have understanding with the kids. We're going to keep them out of church till they're 18. I think that's probably the healthiest place you can be, for sure. I think I might even enact that, because like it's a conversation I had with my ex-girlfriend. She was Christian. Like, okay, how do we raise the kids? She was really reasonable about it. It's, I think she heard me say often that if we stop teaching kids about this before they turn, like, I don't know, teenage years, even in their 20s, then nobody, like, the whole religion would probably die out in like 3-4 generations. But we never got to like specifics. But yeah, I think that's probably your best bet, is in figuring out when to talk to them about it. I mean, they gotta learn it anyway, but I'd rather they learn it from people they trust instead of like people on the street that just want to lie to them, right? What country makes the best food? I'd say Mexico. They're just so consistent with like consistently great food. I would say Mexico number one. I don't even Italian. Italy's got some hits, but like I might even take back what I said about Italian food. Like, an Italian food is my favorite food, but other than that, their food's not bad. But like just across the board, there's better, right? I'd say Mexicans number one. I would say Indians number two. Moroccan or like just general Middle Eastern's probably gonna be number three for me, and those are probably my top three. Yeah, Japanese is pretty good. I can't eat a lot of it because I'm allergic to seafood, but whatever, right? Korean's okay. Peruvian was surprising. There's like I went to one Peruvian place back when I was in trade school in Ohio. They were pretty solid, but yeah, that would be my votes for sure. It's a change for the better. I'd wholeheartedly agree. Also, what's up, HB? Good to see you. Can I say something on why I'm not sure Christianity let's see. Can I say something on why I'm not sure why Christianity is as great as it seems? You mind rewriting that, Jada? Whatever you want to ask, though, you're free to ask it in here for sure. Desi food is all great. It's my second month making solely Desi food. It's a fantastic cuisine. It gets a lot of hate because of some videos that circulate, but if they're making it in a clean environment, following basic food safety like with literally any other food, I mean, it's going to be fantastic. Mexican food will always reign supreme. Yeah, just across the board. I mean, there's not really many misses in Mexican food when you think about it, right? You have a 17-year-old that's wanting to learn about God, but the boy is smart about it. He understands God is Santa. Hell yeah. Worried about the 9-year-old? She's getting gaslit by the neighbors, and I'm not on good terms with them. Oh man, I don't think we should maybe have neighbors raising our kids for us in the slightest. I mean, I'm not going to tell you how to raise your children, and especially telling you something that like if you know boundary setting, I'm pretty sure you know how to maneuver that. But fuck them for it. Mexico makes amazing food. Number one, I'd agree. Italy makes good food, pizza, spaghetti, etc. They've got some great hits. I would say like there's a lot more variance with Italian food, and a lot of it's like I don't think they make anything bad. I haven't had any bad Italian food, but I'd say it's like overall across the board just a tiny bit overrated. What's up, Eddie? Good to see you. How's your day going? The name has not been changed because I'm absolutely not creative enough. Oh, you're about to change your name. I mean, I'll just know you was warped regardless. What's up, dude? Being here in Texas, turns out all Mexican food is your choice of meat, beans, and form of tortilla. The build is the key. Yeah, fair. That's fair. Girth fat. What the? I'm not answering. What the fuck? What? Hello. We're done talking in the Discord. What's up, Ferrets? Good to see you. Nitro, Furry. I don't know what you want me to call you at this point. The one missing Mexican food is when they give me a burrito and a plate with cheese on top. Like unmelted, or if it's like unmelted, then like, yeah, we could probably melt our cheese, right? But I don't know, chimichangas, enchiladas, especially if they melt it, cover the whole thing in sauce, give you some heartburn. That's the good stuff. Also, what's up, BBL? Her friend is a neighbor's kid, and they try to teach my kid about God. Oh, you ever consider having like a? I would say you ever consider like you're not raising the children, right? You ever have a conversation with them about it, or made Peruvian food too? Ruffinote is fucking magical. I haven't had that personally. I had this one. It was like a ají amarillo. I forget what it was, but it was fantastic. You could go back simply because the teachings are good, and even the prophecy of the religion is necessarily true. It promotes a good moral compass. I think I could get any part of my moral compass that I would accept in my own life from outside of Christianity, right? And there's plenty of bad teachings in there too. So I don't think there's anything that Christianity can offer me that I can't get from elsewhere, or that I shouldn't optimally get from elsewhere, right? That isn't the reason to go back, though. He doesn't have to be religious to follow the teachings. That too, but like again, the teachings of Christianity, as they like to call them, like when if I were to meet Christians on some common ground and say like, oh, all the good stuff is the teachings of Christianity. Obviously, that's not the case, but even if I were to grant that, like, there's nothing in there that wasn't around long before the religion and will be around long after it, right? Daddy Hugh is crazy. What's up, JC? Good to see you. Told them 2 times they don't want to know what will happen if it happens again. Yeah, I guess they just want to find out then, right? If they can't honor consent, then I mean they consent to what happens with them not honoring it at that point, right? Got just the right ADHD to understand what Jada meant. I didn't. I think I need a little bit more. I think I needed just a little bit more autism to understand her. But yeah, what is up? Let me try rereading it since we're slowing down just a little bit. Also, like the stream, all that good stuff. I don't know. Improve me in the algorithm. Just hype me up. I don't fucking know what to say. I still haven't learned how to do the whole YouTuberish kind of like. Make sure to like and subscribe, guys. Make sure to like. Just I can't bring myself to. Well, I'm not sure why Christianity it has to. Yeah, it's the last part of that sentence makes me like it's stroke inducing for sure. The good teachings are fulfilled by humanism. Exactly, right. There's nothing about love thy neighbor or things like that. Even if you were to take that out of context and say he meant like your general just human man, like there's nothing you need to take from Christianity in and of itself to get that message. Your Pookie Kendrick Lamar had his birthday yesterday. I forgot he was a Gemini. Also, what's up, Juan? Yeah, happy birthday to the GOAT. Hell yeah. Who likes Kendrick Lamar? I love Kendrick Lamar. Love him. Love him, love him, love him. I know you like Hans Zimmer. Have you heard that song from the Amazing Spider-Man 2 soundtrack with Kendrick Lamar, Hans Zimmer, and Alicia Keys? That's good stuff. That's good stuff. It's your choice. I don't think there's really a choice in the matter, right? I can't choose to believe in Christianity if I believe it to be false. I don't think I have a good evidential reason for going back, and also don't think I have a good cultural or moral reason to go back either. One good reason someone created the universe. I disagree. There has to be a God. It's an intelligent design. So even the sun that gives us cancer, that's intelligent. Because I'm not seeing the intelligence about the universe at all. It looks about the way it would look if things were completely natural. The extra letters dissolved away in the mess of my mind. Hell yeah. I have a question. If you get cancer out of nowhere, how would you deal with that? I would get chemotherapy, and if the chemo is ineffective, I would say goodbye to the people around me and, just die off, right? Favorite Kendrick Lamar song? Oh, man. Oh, jeez. Stand Alone. Oh, God, there's so many. Mortal Man is really good. Not Like Us. I mean, that's a classic, right? That's going to be a classic. No, it's as far as like the feud goes. Meet the Grams was better than Not Like Us. That's Meet the Grams. Like every time I listen to it, I cringe at it in a good way. And like, if somebody was reading me my rights like he read Drake's rights on Meet the Grams, I would fucking kill myself. But yeah, Meet the Grams, Mortal Man, Sing About Me, I'm Dying to Thirst, The Blacker to Berry, Elements great. Yeah, just across the board. Christian Corinthians is pretty good too. Uh, or Christians associating normal things at current events with end times is stupid and dumb. Yeah, they're going to be doing that for the next however long humans don't blow each other to smithereens. Have you ever experienced the oil rising up your spine? I don't like just oil, just in general. I've been oiled up before. Technically, you never knew God, never know if God is real until you die. Maybe, maybe. I can probably even give a good argument for why I have good reason to not believe He's real while I exist. But sure, why not? Oh, what's up, Stumping Stomp? What's up, my Filipino friend? How you doing? Wait, what the hell? What the fuck? Hello? Hello? Streamlabs? Hello? Hello? Can we not do that? Hello? Hello? I don't know why the Streamlabs bot's wild. I programmed it to do some dumb shit. um, study Islam. I've read the Quran. I've read it all the way from the Al Fatiha verse 1 to the An Nas verse 6, and it's not for me. It's not for me at all. What's up, Amaranth? Good to see you. Can you turn down the heat? It's 93 degrees. I'm sorry. I'll turn the AC up a little, bro. Got you. Got you. What's the story with Mrs. Gecko? Long story. You just had to have been here. Haven't seen you around. I wasn't live yesterday. I just took the night off and just chilled out. But I'm here today. I've but yeah, I'm trying to be on like 5 times a week, right? What's on tonight's topic? So tonight's topic is if there is there even one good reason for me to go back to Christianity? Just one. People can't claim I'm not looking for a reason or just don't want to believe or whatever when I'm out here right now saying, give me one good reason. Streamlabs and I now have beef. Fair. Good to see you too. Hell yeah. Once I got talking about cancer, which guy? Which guy? Somebody still going on about cancer? Oh, I want to see me in heaven. I don't believe in heaven, so I don't think you're gonna see me there, and I don't think I'll see you there either. Mr. Quack is on its NPC time and just saying Jesus is king. Hate to see it. Is God real? Personally, I don't think so. Uh, honestly, nothing good keep atheists, bro. I'll looks to be the case. Yeah, I will. I'll fulfill your wish on that one. What's up, Super Grosso? Milk. Oh no, milk isn't. It's not. I didn't put milk on the list or anything. Alienating it? What does that even mean? All religions point to Jesus, therefore Christianity is true. That's just objectively false, right? Some religions, in particular the three Abrahamic ones, have Jesus as a character. Like, and it's if you ask like Orthodox Jews, a lot of them don't even agree on that. But no, that's just outright false. That's you could say, oh, Buddha acknowledged him. It's like as a man, possibly, but is it a part of the Buddhist doctrine? Absolutely not. And most other religions have nothing to do with Jesus, so I don't know where you got that from. Uh, Currently quaking it out over here. Well, have fun. Where did the universe come from? I think the universe has always existed in some form, right? If energy can't be created or destroyed and energy exists, then that leads to the conclusion that energy's always existed in some form. Just read Al Quran, bro. I've read the Quran once, and the Quran's not for me, or at least Islam is not for me. When red milk ASMR daddy stream, what the fuck am I reading? Are baked onions real? Baked onions are real. I'm not super huge in the. I like onions, not enough to just like eat them just baked and just like that. You need one good reason to become Christian again. Avoiding hell seems to be the good reason. I have no reason to think hell exists, so I wouldn't count that as a good reason, right? For the same reason I wouldn't count somebody saying I'm going to get tickled for 15 years after I die if I don't convert to their religion. It's like, if I don't think that's the case, then I don't see the utility of believing in it. What part of Christianity, if any, would you want to be true? Would I want to be true? I don't know. Maybe just like a creator that loves everybody will be pretty chill. But the way that the world's formed shows that that's clearly not the case. Let's become Muslim. No, thank you. Who made the earth? I'm putting. Is that on the bingo? Yeah. Oh wait, I gotta fill out the bingo list. This. It's pretty early. I'll wait. Orthodox Jews have Isaiah 53, which points to Jesus. Buddha points to Bible Jesus. Quran points to Jesus. Mormons do. I mean, Mormonism is just like a heretical cult of Christianity. Um, Islam is within the same canon, so I mean, I'm not seeing how there being a character that exists in both canons. One is the Son of God, one is a prophet. I'm not seeing how that points to him. So, and also like Buddha or Siddhartha Gautama talking about Jesus doesn't mean he was a Christian. Doesn't mean that he was anything other than somebody that just called him like a model, like a model Buddhist or whatever. And so that's, even if I were to accept that to be the case, like even if I were to just like really, really grant you, okay, Mormonism isn't just a denomination of Christianity, and Judaism isn't just a part of the general lore itself, and Islam isn't just a part of the lore itself, and Buddhism acknowledges Jesus as like a part of their doctrine. Even if I were to just ignore all the facts that we know about these religions and say that's true, you're still talking 5 religions out of like 10,000. So, doesn't at all support your claim that all religions point to Jesus. What's up, Ruly? Good to see you. How's your day going? Your voice is so handsome. I appreciate that, Olivia. Thank you. Thank you for the compliment. You put a smile on my face, and I'm not going to say the rest of that, but thank you so much. Appreciate it. What about science? What about science? What about it? It's the most well-regarded man in history, and his love and wisdom is worth following. Well-regarded? I don't think that to be the case, right? In science, we don't see things jump unit exist. What, jump unit existence? I'm guessing jump into existence. Energy being unable to be destroyed or created doesn't also explain matter coming into existence. Thoughts? Yeah, again, if energy exists and energy is a natural part of our world, then and energy cannot be created or destroyed, then energy has always existed. You can't say energy can't be created, or I'll even go so far as to say matter. Fuck it, why not? Because it supports my hypothesis anyway. If you want to claim matter and energy can't be created or destroyed, and yet they exist, then the logical conclusion is that they've always existed, not that they were created by something which would violate the very thing we're talking about in the first place. You have a voice that should be on a radio show. Oh, this is a radio show. Hell yeah! No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, thank you so much. I don't know. Probably got to look into like voice acting or something. I don't know. Your soul is at stake. I don't believe I have a soul, and I don't believe that there's any stakes for it. If God isn't real, why does the sun go around the earth? What's up, Garcia? Sikhism is the right way, but as long as you're a good person, you be you. Hell yeah, but I don't believe in Sikhism either, but I mean, hell yeah. Good to see you. Do we see God? No, indeed we don't. Do you have any loved ones? Wouldn't you want to see them go to heaven? I would love to see them again for sure, but I just don't think I am going to, and I don't think that facts care too much about what I would prefer. Facts don't really care about my feelings. Honestly, God, I've made my religion my own thing. Just believe what makes you happy. Hell yeah, actually. What's up, God equals? Good to see you. If energy can't be destroyed, why do I have to refill my gas tank? Yeah, I wish, right? We're forsaken. Oh, you're just spamming. Ain't that something? You believe in manifestation. You like that stuff. If that works for you, that's awesome. I just don't see. I have no reason to think that our thoughts allow us to warp the world around us in any way without some sort of tangible action, right? If God isn't real, why the earth flat? For real though. Just suggest to find peace what makes you happy. And for most people, that's God, but you can go on your own path. Well, I appreciate the well wishes. Thank you. Christian or not, humanity is important. Christianity is just a teacher. We have many teachers. Humanity has to work hard to make up for all the wrongs. I'd say if we get to a point where we're more caring of the people around us, that would be fantastic. I just don't think Christianity is the way to do it. So I'm post saying that because there's cross-shaped nebula, Christianity is the true religion. So by that logic, we should worship question marks because there's a question mark-shaped galaxy. Yeah, we should also worship spirals and circles and spheres and any religion that uses this as their symbol too. You want to play Doom Eternal in real life with your Hello Kitty shotgun? Let's maybe not do that. Let's maybe not do that. Our thoughts just have to prove us right no matter what. Hence manifestation. If you mean like outer mind tangible manifestation, I don't agree with you on that. What did you eat last night? What's up, LXM1612? How you doing today? Last night I had goddamn, what did I have last night? Oh, some hot dogs. Had some hot dogs. Mustard. Had an old can of chili lying around. Threw that in there. Fuck it, why not? Are you dripping 3 for 3? I'm drowning tonight. I'm bummed out, or looking bummed out. You should go back to Christianity because it's extremely good moral compass. Plus, you not fear death. You know what comes after it. Um, Even if you believe in something strongly about what happens after death, it doesn't mean that you know it, right? And secondly, I don't think that a God that condones slavery, a God that condones rape of unread women, a God that committed genocide, or a God that commanded infanticide is going to be a God that can give me a good moral compass. Only good Christian is the one's not trying to convert people in a YouTube video. Fair take, right? Also, what's up, Jessica? Actually had hot dogs last night as well. Hell yeah. Are we twinning? Are we twinning out? The fact the Bible has how many variations, if it's the word of God, why have so many? This question is mine, others deep into religion. Anyway, how's your day? Just started watching you. One quick second. Um yeah, fantastic question. I think that the immutable word of God wouldn't have been so subject to theological interpretations and intentions and biases and things like that. Just outside of directly translating it to the best of your ability to one language, it shouldn't have spawned so many copyrighted variations. But my day's all right. How about your day, Ace of Hearts? Good to see you. This man can only drown. I can drip for sure. I don't know. When I'm sitting in my room just doing my thing, I don't feel like dripping too much. How do we go from a dead planet to the very first microscopic speck that eats chemical soup? Abiogenesis, if we mean like life. My little cousin searches up Uzi X in Kiss. My little cousin is a freak. Yeah, your little cousin sounds like he needs to get the fuck off the iPad. God doesn't condone any of that. We have free will. In which not, I'm gonna take a step back really quickly. In Leviticus, God explicitly condones Israelites owning people from outside of the Israelite tribe as slaves for life, as property. So we can't say that he doesn't condone it when he very clearly said, you're only allowed to have slaves from the people around you. Those you may own as slaves for life as your property. You may bequeath them to your children. So that's a falsehood. In Deuteronomy 22, he says that the punishment for raping a married woman is death, but the punishment for raping an unmarried woman is to have to pay her father 50 shekels of silver and take her as your wife forever. He could have just said, don't rape people, right? But, that's a very clear condonement of rape, at least in some circumstances. Commanded infanticide via the prophet Samuel to the king Saul in 1 Samuel chapter 15 of the Amalekites. It committed genocide when he flooded the planet, yes. So no leg to stand on that one. We can't just free will cop out our way out of that one. Mine was good, thank you. Hell yeah. Biggest question is still is Unchained Skeptic. Where's the first reason to assume a deity? I'm looking for it, man. I'm hunting. I'm scratching. You could say I'm clawing even. I'm clamoring. I'm drooling at the mouth. I'm drooling like somebody. And I was gonna make a really bad joke, but yeah, I need it. Give it to me. Give it to me. Give me the good reason to believe in a deity. Also, what's up, Kermit? Good to see you. My opinion as an atheist is why would an omnipotent, all powerful, and from what people said, loving God do this to the world? Fantastic question, right? The problem with evil is no matter how much people want to meme it, it's a fantastic catch-all. One good reason is that Jesus died on the cross for our sins. He died to show us the way, man. Oh, that's just preaching at that point. Just saying, here are the claims of my religion, therefore it's true and you should believe in it. It's not going to get you very far here. What about medical miracles that defy science and physics? And if you didn't exist and came into existence, does that not validate the law theory of relativity? Absolute matter can be created. I'm not going to answer the second part because I've never said that we came into existence from nothing or anything like that. I think that's absurd. I don't know where you heard that, but medical miracles that defy science and physics. I'm going to need to see some evidence for that. Turn to a God that forgives the raping of children, definitely not. Yeah, absolutely not. Anybody who reads Numbers 31 and says oh, this is the God that cares about us, I'm not buying it. Is truth? Prove it. Have a good rest of your night, Ruli. Good thing hell is a delusional belief. I'll be fine. I 100% agree. Sorry, my guy, you were never a Christian. I'm supposed to believe somebody's random diagnosis of my former faith when they can't even spell a four-letter word correctly. Please make it make sense. Also, wait, that's on a bingo card, too. Never a Christian. Preaching in chat. Let me see. Morals, yeah, we got morals. See, no, didn't quite get see you in hell yet. No spam yet from what I've seen. Okay, yeah, that's good. That's good. There we go. Science based on theories is a religion. I'm not biting the bait of scientific misrepresentation. As you can do another atheist for that. You seem so obsessed with proving your atheism. Sounds like you're not truly convinced. Firstly, it's YLU apostrophe RE. I don't know how you made it to double my age, not being able to spell words correctly. But beside that point, it's not proving my atheism I'm after. It's getting people to critically think about why they believe the things that they do. Hope you find Islam someday, brother. No, thank you. Don't go back to religion. You're free now. I'm right there with you. Thank you, Adriana. So you quit being a Christian because you think God, because He lets bad things happen to the world? No, that is not at all why I stopped believing. It's a good reason to call it cap for sure, but among the many reasons that I stopped believing, I touch on them a bit in my not first pin video. This isn't TikTok. Do exclamation Y in the chat, and the bottle like link you to my video. Got some great rails, bro. They're funny. Well, thank you. It's the depression. Believing in God has nothing wrong. If He's real, you have faith. Oh, Pascal's wager. So let's say that a God is real, but the God wants people to be atheists. He doesn't want people to believe in Him. He's considers it an insult if people like have a conception of God that's false from Him or that's believes in anything whatsoever, because He wants to hide and wants to be hidden and wants people to value evidence. And if you do these things and you end up as you die as an atheist, you go to heaven. But if you don't and you worship a false god, you end up in super hell, where there's like hell squared, basically. You know, there's no good reason that I should stop being an atheist if I want to appease this god, right? And I could suffer greatly if I believe in a false god. Is that a good reason for me to believe in this random conception of God I just made up? Absolutely not, it isn't. Conversely, just claiming pros and cons of your religion isn't a good reason in and of itself to believe in the religion. Oh Allah, we got that in the chat. Hell yeah, there we go. Let's see here. Oh wait, you come in every stream to spam Omar. I'm gonna get you on out of here forever. You will not come back. If Allah is real, ask Allah to make sure that you're come back on the channel someday. It's not gonna happen. Skadoosh. Take care. Have a good one. Hate people that say Jesus died for your sins. Like, yeah, duh, I don't believe that happened. And besides me not believing it happened, I didn't ask for him to do that. I didn't ask for that, right? So I don't know. Only if you want to. Everyone has different needs, and some want that spiritual religious connection in their lives. Nothing wrong with wanting or not wanting it. Sure, yeah, hell yeah. You should be a Christian so you can meet Jeffrey Dahmer. Yeah, I should be a Christian so I can go shake hands with the KKK in heaven. Hell yeah. What's your pro and con listing? I'd be here all day if I went over the cons of it. To believe fully in anything based on blind faith is foolish. The fact that no one knows, yet many take some crazy chances. Pretty funny how that works, right? How the universe created itself. I don't believe the universe created itself the same way you don't believe that God created himself. I believe the universe has always existed. Have no good reason to think otherwise. If you were to be convinced, would you choose Islam or Christianity? Probably Christianity. I've read the Quran, and I'm not going to say too much about it, but not for me. It's not for me. The transcendental argument, there's no good reason for me to think that my acceptance of a logical framework requires a God. I think that's unsubstantiated at best, kind of absurd at worst. Reality didn't create itself. How do you explain a God not making it? Explain why reality was created in the first place, and then we can talk. Being a Christian is hard because our ending will be amazing. Atheists might have it easy at the start, but they won't get a happy ending. Oh, I'm so scared. Oh. See here, if being an atheist makes you insulting and condescending, you win are. How did you make it to twice my age, not knowing how to spell the word winner? What the fuck are we doing? Hello? Miss Duval? Like, hello? Like, huh? Well, come on, man. You're speaking in circles and don't have a point, son. Oh, okay, well, I can just go and get you on out of here. If you think I'm not making a good point, then, I mean, that's completely fine, but I'm not here to appease you, so I'm going to get you on out. Skadoosh. Take care. Have a good rest of your night, but, yeah, maybe you can scroll to somebody with a toilet seat over their head on YouTube Shorts, and they can make a better point. You don't understand the transcendental argument. I do understand it. I'm just not seeing how a God's necessary for anybody to accept a logical framework, right? Oh, you have to ground logic as some sort of idealistic, tangible whatever that we're accessing, and it can only come from a God. It's just sounds like the same thing the moral argument does, and tries to take somebody's acceptance of a framework and try to just like shove a God onto that, right? But Christians do that with everything. Well, people, theists in general, do that with everything. Oh, you have morals. My God did it. You accept logic. My God did it. You're alive. My God did it. The world exists. My God did it. What else? Oh, the universe expanded. My God did it. It's just framework hijacking at a certain point. Do you have beef with the belief in God and or the way of life that Christian beliefs call to you? Beef with the belief in God. I wouldn't say beef past the point of just not believing it to be true, right? Um, the moral implications of it are going to be separate from why I don't believe in it. So if that answers your question. Why exactly is Islam something that you won't consider? If you're a fundamentalist Muslim, I'm not even going to talk to you about it because the Quran encourages intellectual dishonesty about it, so no thank you. You have trouble typing because you're elderly, not illiterate. Are you sure about that? You're back. What did you miss? Not much. Think some people need a personified God. A lot of people make personified gods when you really break it down. One reason to go back, you'll miss not being anxious or fearful for the future as you no longer believe that God provides for your life. As you no longer believe that God provides my life. Anxious or fearful for the future? I, it sounds like you're agreeing with me. I don't know. Prove to me that Christianity is the correct religion. Hey, we're all ears, right? Do you think that Trump and Elon breaking up their romance was sad? Yeah, I was kind of rooting for them. They were kind of like that one couple in middle school that you want to see make it and like be high school sweethearts or middle school sweethearts, and then they just like break up at the end of the school year when it's summer break. Yeah, that was Trump and Elon for me. Just only a couple months in, and all of a sudden it's breaking down. Mm-mm. I think the only logical argument is that those that believe in God just choose to believe in something higher than themselves, almost like looking up to a parent when you were a younger child because you want that protection. I think that's one of the reasons that people are so eager to believe in God, sure, but I don't need that in my life. Personally, I don't need anybody above me necessarily, so that reason doesn't work for me, you know? Islam is beautifully misunderstood. Maybe you and Islam simply got off on the wrong foot, but you will always be a free individual. Oh, me and Islam did not get off on the wrong foot. I've read the entire Quran. I've read the Hadiths. I think I missed one, but for the most part, I've read the Hadiths. And yeah, there's not much to misinterpret on that one. What made you stop believing? I stopped believing that God exists because I didn't see any good evidence for his existence. And the version of Christianity I grew up with was one where God is self-evident. And so once I started really breaking it down, clawing away at it a little bit, I realized there was just like no meat on those bones, basically. Uh, do you think Trump is on the Epstein list? I think it should be pretty obvious that he's on the list, right? You are better than reality. I'm not sure where I said that or even implied that. Everyone got an opinion. Believe what you want and need to influence others what you may think is correct. Just hope like hell you are right. Yeah, this hope like hell I'm right. And you know what? Sure, yeah, why not? Fuck it. Uh, Something about creation needs a creator. Okay, so the reason I don't think that the universe is creation is because A, there's nothing about it that shows that it was necessarily intentionally designed. Like if you want to point to good parts about it, I can point to the bad parts and show that there's no good grounding to stand on with that. And B is that the word creation itself implies a creator. So simply saying that things that exist are created and that proves that there is a creator, or it's just going to be a circular argument. Creation exists, showing that there's a creator. This creator created everything, showing that's creation, which exists, and it's circular at that point. Premise backs up the conclusion. Conclusion backs up the premise. You read Hadiths, biggest cap I've ever heard in my life. You read tens of thousands of Hadiths. The main ones, right? I've read the Al Bukhari. I've read I forget the name of the other one. It starts with like a, fuck was it? I don't know. But yeah, I've read plenty. Want me to pray for you? It's dealer choice. If you want to, by all means, go for it. You have my permission. But if you know, it's to be not to be condescending or anything, but it just doesn't necessarily matter to me. But if you do, thanks, I guess. You might have said why already, but why again would you choose Christianity over Islam if you were to go back? Islam's a lot more legalistic, at least for my reading of the Quran. A lot more legalistic, a lot less graceful with its treatment of non-believers, and has a lot has similar, if not slightly worse, moral implications to it. It's just, just not for me. Also, a part of the big issue is that I just don't think it to be real. I think if you don't want to believe in God, there's no way to sway your opinion. If you don't want God in your life, He will stay out. I used to ask God for evidence of His existence, like straight to the source on that, right? So, Him not showing up then and me coming to the conclusion that He's not real, and then saying like, "Oh, you came to that conclusion. Well, you don't want it." It's just gonna be a not winning argument, right? Eternally away from Jesus, who created you and gives you breath, forever dead or life eternal. Enter by faith because your intellect is as a rock. Neither, right? I don't believe Jesus exists or gave me life, so I have no good reason to say like, oh, let me entertain a hypothetical. Like, do you entertain the idea that Brahma, like the universe was born out of his navel? Of course not. So, same way, just recounting the story to me isn't going to do you very much. What are your thoughts on Jesus? I'm up in the air about if he even existed, right? Um, Recently I not reread, but the part of the Antiquities, I want to say it's like paragraph, Guaf. I was going to say 20, paragraph 20. I think it was 3 and 3, like chapter 20, verse 3, and then 3 after that. I couldn't tell you, but I was rereading the parts where that talks about Jesus or the Christians or people closest to him, and there's not even really good reason for me to believe he existed. If you really think your logic is objective and grounded, then go speak to Muslim Lantern. He speaks to people in all beliefs, and then we'll see your reasoning. I do not talk to people that have any sort of metric, financial, social, or theological incentive to be intellectually dishonest to me. I think that's a waste of my time. I used to debate Muslims, Christians, whoever wanted up to talk to me about it, and if there's anything I've learned, it's that if somebody believes that believing all of it to be the case is going to save them from some sort of eternal suffering, then I mean they're starting from a position of wanting to avoid harm in some way, which is either be intellectually dishonest to this person, continue to avoid harm, or potentially acknowledge that I'm right about some things and strip God of his agency or his perfection or the truth of his existence, and then potentially go to hell for it. It's just not worth it for me. I'm impressed and motivated. Well, I'm glad to see you, Curtis. Thank you. Just lost me on that one. Jesus definitely existed. There's no contemporary evidence showing that he did. I mean, the best you'll get is like 60 years after his death. And I mean, that's not if you don't count the Gospels. I mean, if you do, that will be a circular argument. But 60 years after, maybe the execution of somebody claiming to be the brother of Jesus, John the Baptist existing. Maybe Christians existing in the early times, sure. But Jesus himself, yeah, not really good records on that. Also, Pedro, thank you for subscribing. Good to see you. Please explain to me this companion we assigned by God. I've always said mankind has corrupted all faiths. I believe we are being human trafficked in the unseen and tortured. This companion we assigned by God, I'm not sure what you're necessarily referring to or even like talking about. So I couldn't tell you. Has absolutely no financial incentive. He makes no money off YouTube, and at all has ads off. We just want to talk to anyone at all, period, on your conditions, lol. Oh, so we're taking like, and this is part of the reason I just consider it not worth my time. Notice how I said like multiple different reasons why I wouldn't want to talk to somebody who like makes content about the thing, and they're like, oh, let me just like pick at this one part and ignore all the other stuff. It's like, if even their followers or their fans can't even don't feel convicted to be honest about the things that I say and the words I intentionally chose, then there's just not much to talk about. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and get Issa out of here. Issa's not intent on being dishonest, so I'm going to go ahead and get you on out. Maybe tell them about me. We'll see where we go from there. Skadoosh. Have a good one. But yeah, I'm past the intellectual dishonesty. What would anyone think a Jewish carpenter would be educated? It was rare for people to read and write back then. Besides scribes, Jesus was a carpenter, not a scholar. That too, right? Like, I don't make the claim that Jesus was supposed to have written about himself in any sort of way, but the people that had the education who were Jewish, like Josephus was, they didn't convert to Christianity because of it. They don't even mention meeting Jesus or meeting anybody that definitely knew Jesus. It's It's really up in the air. Also, the Cowardly Badger, thank you for subscribing. Good to see you. You cannot take the base materials for a luxury sports car, throw them into the random chaos of the universe, and expect something as complex and perfect as a Maserati. So the reason that your analogy fails is that you know what the end goal of the parts is supposed to be, which is a Maserati. We don't know what the end goal of the parts of the universe are supposed to be. If you want to claim perfection, then you have to say like the Maserati is comparable to a sun that gives us cancer, is comparable to a universe that's 68% dark energy, is comparable to a planet that's mostly unlivable for us, a planet that's been unlivable completely for most of its existence. I mean, if you want to claim that this is the perfect thing that we're moving toward, then I mean, good luck on that one. There's a chance that Jesus was real, but bro was not Dumbledore. Yeah, at the absolute best, even if I wasn't a mythicist about it or didn't entertain mythicist arguments about it, it still wouldn't get us very far, right? The Quran, this companion is called the Korean or Korean in the Bible. The companion is called the Holy Spirit Truth. Please look. I'm not gonna. Yeah, we're past that point. I think after reading the Quran once, it was enough of an eye fuck for me that I'm past the point of giving it any more thought. With a spicy little twist. What's up, Juan? How come atheists received all the privileges of growing up in a Christian nation and then act like they could have done the same? What do you mean? All the privileges of growing up in Christian nation? I don't even know what you're getting at. Like, um, if you want to claim that the United States is a Christian nation, I would have to point you to the quite literal first 10 words of the First Amendment of the Constitution of the United States, which says that Congress shall not I forget what it was, but basically a lack of like this isn't a theocracy, so most people around in the country being Christian does not make this a Christian nation. So sorry. What are your beliefs? I don't believe in anything supernatural or divine personally. Matthew 6:5 and 6. Yeah, people still want to pray for me, saying I want to pray for you. They don't read their Bible though. I would like to get you to address at least one of my comments. I'm not going to pay you a super chat to get your attention. Well, there's 200 people. Oh, my bad. 145 people in here. So with nobody having any sort of precedent over anyone else in the chat, there's like a 1 in 145 chance of me getting to your comments. So I'm not avoiding you intentionally. You don't have to send a super chat to get my attention, but expecting me to just like drop everybody else. I mean, just fuck everybody else. Just look at you. That's just not going to happen. So I would say, good luck. It's all I'm going to say. Be completely honest, I think we, the chat, despite being mostly religious, cannot really point to the right things in order to attract or invite. Have you tried an expert? Yeah, I've tried an expert. I've tried multiple experts, not just religious leaders around me back when I was first deconstructing, but apologists, reading their press. I'm obviously like some random 19-year-old deconstructing is not going to get like William Lane Craig's attention, right? But I've read Got Questions, I've read Answers in Genesis and all that stuff, and that's part of the reason that I deconstructed, was realizing that they were being intellectually dishonest about their intentions behind giving these hermeneutics. Do you believe that all of Jesus' disciples existed? If so, why would they all die proclaiming that the life that Jesus is the way? So there's no contemporary evidence for the existence of all of Jesus' apostles. I mean, at the absolute best, you'll get maybe, if I'm getting really generous, like 4 of them. But let's say hypothetically all of them did. It would be a circular argument to say that the Bible claims that they died for awful deaths for this stuff when there's otherwise no records for it. But let's not pay attention to the fact that there's no records of it. They all died for this thing, proving it to be the case. I mean, Al Qaeda, they died for what they believed in 9/11, right? November 18th, 1978, the People's Temple died for what they believed in. So I don't know if we want to go the route of saying that willingness to die for your beliefs makes your beliefs any closer to truth. Man, as biased as should not be able to say the Bible is the exact teaching of God. Are you talking about me? Please analyze the theology behind Skibbity Toilet. I don't want to hear anything else about Skibbity Toilet ever again in my life. What's up? I drink water. Good to see you. How's your day going? Science and Quran proves Jesus is real and God. It does not. It doesn't. You don't see God, so God doesn't exist. Oh, we're just arguing non-points at this point. I never said that the lack of visibility of God is the only and one and only reason I don't believe in him. You know what? You send something afterward. I'm not even going to read it. If you want to argue like some apologetics from just like your favorite Muslim apologists and say like, oh, atheists don't believe in God because they can't see him. Ask them if they see air or whatever the fuck. If you want to do that, by all means, go for it. But if you want to talk to me as a person with my own experiences, then try asking me why I don't believe instead of just like going off of random stupidity. You can't catch all the messages and all the ones that got past you converted me. Way to go. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Leva doesn't claim that Cyprian of Carthage and Ignatius of Antioch were students of the disciple John. Okay, so we got one. Let's go with one. All right. 11 to go. What did you say you think happens when you die? I think you cease to exist personally. I think it's just lights out over for you. Just, I can't snap with my left hand. I don't know why I tried to. It's just over for you. Just like before you were born, basically. All the gods were born of a virgin. A lot of them were before the Bible was compiled. Did you find more baddies after this or not? I can't say I have, no. Can you tell me why you left the faith? If you want like the full story, front to back, cover to cover, not like the entirety of the year and a half process of me deconstructing, but just the things that I like, the reasons and the main bullet points of why I stopped believing, then you can do exclamation Y in the chat and it'll take you to the video where I explain it. If someone doesn't agree, you sure get snarky. It's not lack of agreement that makes me snarky. It's condescension, arrogance, and antagonization that makes me snarky. I'm an energy returner, right? There are people in here right now that say like, "Oh, do you mind if I pray for you?" Who are being respectful with their disagreement, and I'm trying to be as respectful as I can back. But if we're just gonna say shit like, "You're gonna burn," this guy doesn't know what he's talking about, and just trying to put me down, then why would you expect me to be respectful in the face of that? Trey, don't spam, dude. Let's not spam. You know, I'm gonna get you on out of here. I'm not even gonna answer your question. Yeah, we don't spam in here, dude. Skadoosh. Take care. Have a good one. But yeah, we're past that. After what we had in the server today, I don't think my brain can handle YouTube comments right now. If you need a break, it's fine. I barely need mods anyway. To be completely honest with you, God performs unlawful surveillance on me when I'm on a toilet. Yeah, when I'm just like got some vegetable oil on my. I'm not talking about it, but yeah, there's some unlawful surveillance going there too. Have you think the universe was created? Also, please don't just respond to how was God created argument. I'd like to hear your actual opinion. Please don't take this insultingly. Sure, fair enough. I'll save the internal critique until you show me that there's special pleading going on. But I don't believe that the universe itself, like the entirety of the manifold, was created in any sort of way. I don't think it ever went from a state of not existing to existing. I think past the point of the Big Bang, it's impossible to say. But if I had to take a guess, I would say that the universe, in that the stuff that makes up, like the stuff that makes it up, and also the space it takes up, has always existed in some form, and the energy that makes it up has always existed in some form. Quantum eternity theorem surely backs it up. If there's energy that exists and energy cannot be created or destroyed, then energy has always existed in some form. So that's what I tend to go with. Atheism disgusts me. I worship work and not wasting time on these stupid 4chan arguments. Thank you for your opinion. I don't see proof for a God, but the universe is a paradox. What's paradoxical about it? I wholeheartedly agree. If someone, if someone is of one of these I have to save you types, just walk the fuck away. And you know, the thing is, it's not necessarily like I have to save you or you're making a big mistake type of people that make me disgusted or like make me snarky, but it's people that insist on being disrespectful toward me. It's like, that's completely your right. I'd fight for people's right to be disrespectful toward me, but why are we claiming? I mean, why are we saying that like, oh, just be like, let us just bully you basically, you know, call you unemployed, 4chan arguments, whatever the fuck, and just because you want to have this discussion or whatever, like all of the shit that's happened in chat so far. But then I'm expected to just suck it up, be respectful back, like, okay, guys, well. You know, it's okay. You can insult me and everyone I know, but it's okay. Let's talk about God. Let's rein it in. No, fuck them. Hawk Tua. Hawk Tua. All the hurt I had to endure was done by Christians and churches. Finally, I'm born again from the lie. Hell yeah, Wendy. Welcome to reality. I've always liked paganism more because it's more earth-based and that feels more comfortable to me. Whatever works for you, I'm glad for you. If you close your heart to the truth, you will not accept it no matter the evidence. To the truth or to your religion, there's a big difference here. I'm not even saying your religion's necessarily untrue. I mean, I could say that too, but just to make my point, that's not my point. Um, like there's thousands of religions, right? And so saying, "Oh, I don't accept the claims of your religion because there's not presented with good, logical, um, good, like well inferred evidence," doesn't mean I'm just closing my eyes off to the one truth that's completely revolutionary and that nobody's ever heard of and they can't possibly tear down. So no. I think a lot of the hatred comes from people's history with parents or guys also not being open to understanding. Yeah, I think that's a big part of it. I feel like bad people raise bad people and they don't raise them to be empathetic. They don't raise them to be respectful. I mean, that's fine, right? It's whatever. But just this expectance for me to put the kid gloves on for them while they can just call me anything they want to, I mean, fuck off at that point, right? How have you been doing recently? I've been okay. I've been in physical pain because I've been having to, pack my shit and I got to be out of here soon. But other than that, I'm all right. I'm just doing my thing, right? How are you doing today? Former Christian here as well. Welcome in, Nitrous. Good to see you. Saturn worship on Saturday, sun worship on Sunday, not sun. Paganism. Did you see my comment earlier? Accidentally exited out of the stream and missed, but I'm not sure if you responded to it. Probably not. Which one was it? Or do you mind resending it in some way? What I keep telling myself is religion carried our ancestors. Explanation: through hardship, struggle, war, and fear, religion kept us sane and hopeful as humans. Why ditch it? It's useful, man. Because to be as respectful as I can be with this answer, facts don't really care about your feelings, right? I couldn't care less about the utility of believing in something not true. I couldn't care about the potential upsides of something potentially untrue. I care about whether or not it's true. And so I am glad that our ancestors have had at least something to help them, like pull them through when they didn't have anything else. They didn't have science yet. They didn't have the facts yet. But now that we're past the point of not having access to the information, I feel like I don't want to dedicate myself to something that's potentially untrue. Leak your address when you leave. Got you, man. We're all the blossoming atheist societies that didn't originally start Christian societies. Oh, notice how you have to like put the extra part in. It's like, the blossoming atheist societies. He would have thought about like Norway or Sweden, but it's just like, oh, it didn't originally start as Christian. It's like, just can't win with him. I don't subscribe to your game. I'm sorry, Veritas. What is the mind? Just brain processes like other mammals or a higher spiritual consciousness? I go with the first one. At least that's where the evidence leads us. I feel like if we were simply accessing consciousness in some way, then brain damage wouldn't change our ability to be conscious of the world around us. You can rewrite it. All right, sounds good. Try Sikhism. If you find no peace in the religion of Abrahamic faith, find it in one that actually has sound reason and logic. I don't know too much about Sikhism besides like the monotheistic nature of it and like some of its core beliefs, but I've met some Sikhs. They're great people. From the little bit I know about the religion, it seems to really cherish a lot of the things I value. But that being said, I care less about the peace that one can find in it and all whether or not it's true. I just want to believe in true things. Do you think that there was a last common religion ancestor? Like as far back. I mean, I'd imagine it had to be a first religion, right? I think it's like a proto religion. I don't even know if it had a name or if we could ever even have any sort of proof of what it claimed. So, but I'd imagine it had to be a first, right? Believing in the Big Bang out of nothing. I'm not reading the rest of that. The Big Bang Theory isn't claimed to be something from nothing. That's quite literally Genesis 1:1. Where's your family have a history? Where does your family have a history in America's making? My family was so a quarter of them were people that were already here that were genocided and taken over and forcibly indoctrinated and had their land stolen. Half of them came over on slave ships to be worked for hundreds of years, and the other quarter of them were immigrants from Poland before the war. Hope that answers your question. TBH, when I die, I hope someone uses my social security number to scam a bank. Give me your social and also your address. I'll make it happen for you. Even as a Christian, we shouldn't be disrespectful because of our differences. I mean, it's completely fine though. It doesn't hurt me at all. I forget people exist after I even hit in stream, and I would much rather people have the ability to show how awful they are as a person rather than like not have the ability to show their awfulness to the rest of the world. Um, I think I need a hit. Yeah, I'm gonna take a hit of this real quick. 1 second. Mm. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Wait 1 second. Can you explain how the Big Bang created matter from nothing? I never said that. Scientists don't say that, so I'm not. It's a non-starter of a question. It's like me asking, "Can you explain how um, two random super gods clapped each other's cheeks and made God?" It's just a non-starter of a question because that's not the claims of Christianity. Good to see you, Jesse. What's up? How's your day? How's your night? How's your life? How's your strife? Poland, Africa, where else? Native American. I'm half black. Both of my granddads were black. One of my grandmothers was Native, Blackfoot tribe, and the other is of Polish descent. They came around like before like in the late 1800s though, so they weren't around for World War II. We ripping. It's not staying lit either, so we not ripping, but we gonna rip. Oh yeah, that's what I needed. There's no leaving Christianity. It's not a cult, sect, or religion. Religious order is a personal relationship with our Creator and Savior Jesus Christ. I know you want your religion to feel more special than the other religions, and I know you also want to avoid the negative connotations that come with the word religion for some anti-theistic like sects of people. But objectively speaking, it is a religion. It meets the criteria of what a religion is. So maybe let's not do that. What do scientists say then? All that scientists claim is that the Big Bang is the expansion of the universe from a previously hot, dense state 14 billion years ago. That's literally it. Universe was small and hot and dense, and it expanded, and that's it. Didn't explode. It didn't come from nothing, or at least it's not the claims being made. It's expansion of a previously hot, small state of the universe. Did you deal with a lot of racism growing up? Sorry if you did. I did. Yeah, yeah. I grew up in Detroit, so I'm black passing, so that wasn't an issue really. But been followed around in a lot of stores. Been called some things. Yeah, it's whatever. What do you think of the people who run mega churches? Disgusting, awful people. In theory, nothing wrong with having a big church, but if we're not using our church to improve the community, besides like asking for money and laying hands and doing all this performative bullshit, then um, might as well just pay taxes at that point. Everything around you prove God exists. No one's an atheist since birth. Before you were formed in your mother's womb, He knew you. Everyone's an atheist from birth. Nobody's born believing in any God, much less your particular preferred one. If that weren't the case, then people who are in uncontacted tribes who've never heard of Christianity wouldn't be atheists or wouldn't have their own perception of what a God is. So, false, false, and everything around you proves God exists, also false. If you need to hit a blunt to get through, perhaps you need God worse than you think. And see, Miss Duval, this is exactly what I'm talking about, right? If we're taking my, just trying to mellow myself out, just saying, having some, chilling out on a Thursday morning. If you're taking that, it's like I need to hit drugs in order to cope with the chat or whatever and try to condescend to me and trying to put this on my life, then I'm going to get back snarky with you, right? Let's not pretend like there's like I have a complete and total inability to understand like the condescension that you're trying to go for. Good night, man. Thanks for having an open discussion. As a believer, I love the way you bring your real, honest, and own opinion, always looking from multiple angles. All love, bro. Appreciate you being here, Tony. Thank you so much. Have a good rest of your night, and take care, and don't let the bed bugs bite. What's up, Milkman? Good to see you. Thoughts on optimistic nihilism? Is that any different from existentialism? If so, I'm an existentialist. I'd say I agree with it. Um, but yeah, there's nothing wrong with it. I don't think that the lack of an objective purpose or meaning for things means that you don't, as an agent, get to form one for your own life. If we can define what meaning is and we have the ability to do so, then we can do so with our own lives and the things in it. Two, grew up in Detroit, but I'm white, like white. I was treated bad for a while, but a couple of years in, I was just part of the old stoop smokers. Hell yeah, man. Yeah, it was more rare. It was Detroit's got a really big like Chaldean, Iraqi population, like just Middle Eastern population. So, you know, if I walk around a Shell gas station just trying to buy like a bag of party mix and a white chocolate Kit Kat at 8 p.m., dude's gonna come behind the counter, follow me around. Yeah, it's about what you can expect, right? If you had one religion to believe in, which one would it be? I would probably be a Hindu, to be honest. Got kicked out of the Roman Catholic instruction for adults, but saying if someone sent me a postcard from purgatory, oops. Yeah, I don't know if they take too well to those types of jokes, but um, hey, I'm glad you, at the very least, are hit some equilibrium outside of it. Islam is the real truth. I'm not reading the rest of that. Islam's not the real truth. I became one and it changed my life. Well, I'm glad that works for you, but I don't personally. It changed my life for the better leaving it. Do you ever take guests? I used to. I'm gonna start taking them maybe like 1 or 2 days out the week, but in general, guests are just not worth my time. You can like look at my old VODs to see how a lot of my conversations with a lot were respectful, to be fair, but some of them were just people coming up to be disrespectful, coming up to be intellectually dishonest, like not tracking the conversation, and it was just a waste of time. But yeah, I'll probably cook some Christians or cook some theists like 1 or 2 days out the week. Do you have that on recording? Do I have what on recording? You have called upon Christians to save you today. Oh wait, no, just preaching. The local party store was Indian owned and ran. They were the first to accept me into the community. Hell yeah, dude. A lot of the people that I'm not gonna fucking not gonna talk too much about it because it is technically. I'll say like this: a lot of the people that own the gas stations that and the stores that I grew up going to, they weren't sending those like their kids to that part of town anyway. So it's like. I can't say they accepted me one way or the other. I just didn't grow up with them. I'm agnostic. Have you ever looked into that for yourself? I'm agnostic as well. I don't know if the position of a being that created everything and that doesn't have to abide by the laws of the universe can be even substantiated one way or the other. But if somebody does believe it to be the case, then I want a good reason to believe that is the case. And without that, I just don't believe it. So I'm an atheist as well. So you're just hopeless for an afterlife? I wouldn't say hopeless. I just don't believe in an afterlife. I'm hopeless for an afterlife in the same way that you're hopeless for Superman coming down and giving you $5 million tomorrow, right? It's like it's just a claim presented without evidence, a claim that very clearly appears to be false. So a claim that I reject. Never too late to go back. Don't need churches and man-made religion. Just read the Bible, read the Word, and you will see. I've read the Bible twice. Funny enough, I read a really good translation of the Bible just last year, and I can say with certainty that there's nothing in there that makes me think that any of it's true. Bard Ove Cooper. I know that's like maybe like a Finnish name or something. It looks like Finnish or Estonian. I don't know. I can't speak it. So if I butchered it, my apologies, but thank you so much for subscribing. Welcome in. What are your beliefs? What do you believe? What do you truly believe? I want to hear what you believe. I'm an atheist. I don't believe in anything supernatural, divine, paranormal, magical, spiritual. I don't believe in God. I don't think God exists. I believe that the universe has always existed in some form. I don't think a God is necessary for anything that we have within the universe. I don't think that God's necessary for any of the frameworks that we accept within our lives. I just don't see any reason to think that anything that comes with believing in God is true. I don't believe in angels. I don't believe in demons. I don't believe in spirits of any kind. I don't believe we reincarnate. I believe that is that thorough enough for you? What else do you want to know? I wouldn't want to live another life again anyway. I'd rather just die and stay dead, no heaven. Yeah, that's why. I mean, obviously, I think annihilationists, Christians are, I don't think that's true either. But at the very least, it's going to be better than just like eternity of what worshiping God, Sky Church forever. No, thank you. Only a fool says in his heart there's no God, he is corrupt. Psalm 14:1. Only a fool says that man and woman were created from dust and bones. Only a fool says that the universe that we can verify it's like over 14 billion years old at the very least, was formed in 7 days in opposite order. So yeah. You call me foolish for not believing in it. That's fine. I call you foolish for believing in it. I'm an atheist who received all the benefits and conveniences of Christian society, non-belief being one of those privileges. Unironically, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, maybe less so for it being a Christian society. We already talked about this, and that's probably what's going to get you muted. It's just like reaffirming points that I've already taken down. But Yeah, with a society that allows for religious freedom, I have that includes the freedom to not be religious. So I don't owe it to the country that I'm in to be Christian just because 60% of the country is Christian. Um, Especially considering that the first 10 words of the Constitution shows that this is not a theocracy. So, yeah, I'm not seeing the issue there. Woman from a rib, yeah, it says that Eve was created from a bone. Uh, Dust and God's breath. Can't forget God's breath. Just breathe into his nostrils, I guess. Willing to bet on the fact that you know what Laplace's demon is. No way you don't. Laplace's demon sounds familiar. I don't know. So that's you. Because apparently it's an absolute that God is demanding money. God is demanding money, or at the very least, the people representing them are demanding a lot of money. Bob, let's not spam, dude. Let's not do that. What does a Christian mean to you? If I had to define what a Christian is, I would say it's somebody that believes that God exists, that Jesus was, um, either God in the flesh in some way and came down to the world, who died on a cross for your sins to forgive the original sin, rose again after 3 days, reascended into heaven, all that good stuff. If you believe that stuff, I consider you a Christian. I'm the only real God. I will send you all directly towards hell. Please don't. No, no, please. Please don't do it. What do you think happens after we die? I think we just cease to exist. I think it's imagine what you experienced on January 3rd, 1853. The answer is nothing because you didn't exist yet. I think it's like that, but just all over again forever. There's nothing a man cannot do once he accepts the fact that there is no God. Yeah, I agree. Well, except for like, cure cancer, right? Either something hurt you in your life that's made you so bitter, or have fell into a really dark place. Miss Duval, it doesn't seem like you're here to have an honest conversation at this point. Seems like we're here to just like condescend and judge and like spread that Christian love. I'm not in the mood. I'm gonna get you on out of here. Free you up to find somebody who cares, and you have a good rest of your night. Skadoosh. Take care. Hawk Tua. Hawk Tua. Are you scared for death? I'm not scared of death at all. No, I'm not scared, or at least I'm not scared of the fact that I'm going to die. I know I'm going to die one day. Everybody's going to. I'm okay with that. I've been close to it a few times. I'm all right with that. My issue is like, how are the people around me going to respond to it? That sucks, because I think about all the people that's died in my life, and I didn't respond too well to it, and so I don't want to inflict that pain on the people around me. It's got to happen eventually, though, right? And secondly, I don't want to die in an awful way, right? I don't want to get like buried alive or some shit. That would suck. So those are the only two things I fear, but I'm okay with the idea that I'm going to die. You were born January 3rd, 1853. Hell yeah. Hell yeah, dude. How was Hitler? Okay, no. Who would win in arm wrestling, Jesus or Thor? Jesus couldn't even beat some Roman guards. I doubt he's taking out the God of Thunder. Heard it in a movie. It was Don't Breathe, though it was relatable. Did I see Don't Breathe? Yeah, I did see. I saw both of them. I like the first one a lot better than the second one, but the second one wasn't bad. And Don't Breathe is a Detroit classic, though. Speaking of Detroit horror movies or thrillers or whatever, this is horror, but It Follows. Anybody here seen It Follows? That was a damn good movie. I'm legitimately terrified of something like that happening. I don't have enough sex for it to to happen to me, but yeah, that would suck. It's sad if there's no God because then there's no justice. All the people who did really bad stuff and get away with it scot free forever. If there's no God? I mean, everybody does bad stuff though, right? We could argue that if you have to repent in order to go to heaven, I mean, Ted Bundy and Jeffrey Dahmer did that. I don't want to be in heaven with them. The KKK spouted Christian doctrine as part of their beliefs, so I don't want to be up there with them. The Nazis, they had goddess Withers on their belt buckles. Hitler was a Catholic according to Mein Kampf, so I don't want to be up there with them. So I don't think that I kind of cope with the idea of there being no cosmic justice by the fact that everybody does something. Right, everybody does something. Everybody's lied, maybe stolen something, possibly. Other people obviously do a lot worse things, impact a lot more lives, but it doesn't make me sad at the idea that there's no like ultimate justice for the people that we find unfavorable. Also, Jason, thank you for subscribing. Good to see you. See here, if you were a former Christian and you talk, okay, I'm not reading the rest of that. I'm not reading any of that. You weren't a true Christian nonsense tonight. I'm sorry. Uh, let's see here. What is up, Reverse? Good to see you. How's your day? How's your night? How's your life? How's your strife? Wouldn't you have a better chance of going to heaven if it does exist? I believe it does, but following religion rather than just sitting there not, if there's at least a chance, right? No. Because if so, here I'll better explain my thought process. I'll try to be as intentional as possible. I use an analogy commonly. I'm going to throw away the analogy for this one really quickly. So, all religions are presented with no good evidence for it, at least not good enough evidence to convert the world and make it fringe to not believe in it, right? And so the potential claims, even if heaven existing at all, even if punishment existing at all, even if limbo or eternal nothingness or whatever, all of these are claims presented without evidence. And so, you know, if it's just as likely that the Christian God that allows for heaven and hell to exist exists, as it is that a being that wants you to not be Christian exists, then, it's if they're both presented without evidence, it's going to be a 50-50 shot. So until there's good evidence for it, then there's no utility. I'll find no utility in believing in one thing that claims a heaven versus something that doesn't. Are farts a thing in heaven? I really hope so. Farts are fun sometimes. Even murderers can repent and enter heaven. There's only one unforgivable sin. Yeah, then I'm not interested in being up there with the murderers. How come Christianity's symbol is a cross? It's like having a guillotine as a religious symbol. That's always kind of tripped me out a little bit when I really thought about it. Like somebody honoring Tupac's death with a gun around their, as their symbol, or like honoring Elvis with a toilet as their symbol. That would, it's kind of odd when you think about it. The Bible is connected remarkably well to several historical events that can be cited as fact with confidence. Christian values change your life for the better. Jesus, in fact, died and came back for us. Oh, so notice how the theological intention went up and up and up with each passing sentence. I'll go one by one. Connected remarkably well to historical events that can be cited as fact with confidence. None of the supernatural stuff, at least, right? Even if you were to take like what we know are forgeries of the Testimonium Flavianum at face value, or like the annals or the epistolae, as to be like, if we were to take them at face value, at the absolute best, what was I about to say? Shit. Okay, yeah, historical events. At the absolute best, right? There's no good reason to believe that the supernatural stuff, the most important stuff, ever happened. There's no good evidence for it. So that's false. What did you say next? Christian values change your life for the better. Depends on the person. For me, yes or no, but the values of a particular religion aren't a good enough reason to believe in it, at least if you value truth. And Jesus, in fact, died and came back for us. That's just a claim that's presented without evidence, so I don't believe you. Everything happens for a reason. You'll find your way back one day. What if everything happens for a reason and the one true God wants me to not be a Christian, right? If you say you believe in God but don't act like it, like committing murder repeatedly, you aren't acting on your word and you are separating yourself from God. Actions speak louder than words. Well, take that up with the Christians in chat being mean. Skadoosh. No, nobody got skadooshed. Don't make me beat Jesus into you. That's what Muhammad did. I hope you are you being serious? I'm puckered up and oiled. What the hello? Reverse? Hello? Puckered up and oil. I don't even want to know what party is puckered up. Got a question for you. What's your question? The Black Hawk crew? Is that your name? Heaven's not a reward for good people. It's a gift for bad people. As a bad person, I'm extremely relieved God will forgive me. A gift for bad people. If that's the case, I don't want to party with Hitler forever. Do you use cutlery in heaven? I sure as fuck hope not. I hate using knives. Have you had Christians start praying for you to fail just to try to prove that their point that you can't do anything without Jesus God? Not knowingly, but I'd imagine if any Christians pray for me to not have to move out of this house before June is up, then it's A1 for God at that point, right? Dan, thank you for subscribing. Welcome in, dude. Where do you think we came from as humans? Abiogenesis and evolution. As like an individual, your parents had sex. I can tell you that will be the most relaxing and mind controlling thing of your life. Mind controlling? Mind controlling. Answer the chocolate question. What chocolate question? Let's control F for it. Let's figure it out here. See what we got here. Should you eat chocolate? Is that the question? Should you eat dark chocolate? If you want, sure. If you like dark chocolate and you have it, go for it. Life's short. Eat the chocolate, man. What's the most ridiculous Bible story or statement that turned you away? It wasn't any one thing in the Bible that turned me away. It was like a collection of things over a course of like a year and a half. But so I can't speak to like one most ridiculous thing in the Bible. I think if something is supernatural in nature and then there's no evidence for it, it's going to be equally as ridiculous as another thing. But just like intuitively speaking, I would think like Noah's flood is probably the most absurd. Can I ask you a question? It's the most circular thing to stick in the chat. It kind of is. It kind of is, but it's whatever. What's your question, Iro? You don't have to say you don't have to say I have a question. Just ask your question. What's the J word? What J word? How do you reconcile life coming from basically nothing without God? I don't reconcile life coming from nothing. I reconcile life coming to form without God by learning about abiogenesis. You're eating the chocolate now? Hell yeah, hope you enjoy it. Hitler's not in heaven because he only said he was connected to God. He didn't act his word though he committed so many actions separate from God, like murders. How many do you have to commit before God's like, nah, fam? You know, for you to say that for certain. Will you convert to Islam? Oh, fuck no. If that was your question, no. The answer on that one is a big, massive fuck no. With all due respect, it's a giant hell no, heckity no, shit no, damn no. I'll pass on that. Have you ever looked into Islam? I've read the Quran. I've read a few of the hadiths, but besides like letting some theologically intended scholar or Muslim or whatever psyop me into believing it to be the case and convert my life to it, no, and I'm not interested. How did the universe begin? I think the universe itself has always existed in some form. I feel it was easier to enjoy the Bible as a crazy mythos after deciding I was agnostic. Do you still immerse in the content, so to say? Not currently, because I've read it twice, so I already know the story decently enough to, it's not really much to look to there for just the lore. But I do agree with you that if the Bible was presented as just like a story that's claiming to be fictional, then it would be a lot better. Yeah, it'd be similar to like Dante's Inferno or like some other mythology or some other lore that's meant to be a tragic story, the villain winning, things like that. That'll be pretty cool. If you had to pick between Hinduism and Buddhism, which one would you choose? I would pick to be a Buddhist because they don't make any claims of gods that they can't substantiate. That being said, I find both of them fascinating. You weren't trying as a Christian. Are you saying I wasn't trying as a Christian because you disagree with where I ended up, or are you saying I wasn't trying as a Christian because you know my story? Spoiler alert: one of those is true, the other one's false. Diddyism, as in following Sean P. Diddy Combs. I'm sure I'm wrong. I'll pass on that. At least he's on it. Yeah. At least why they tried to present it as like something good that I should strive toward, I don't know, but at least it's honest. Do you believe in one God? I believe in zero gods. Mia's preaching. That's on the that's on. Oh yeah, I gotta check my bingo board really quickly. Consciousness. Yeah. Judgment Day. Yeah. Spam. Yeah. Bible verse. Yeah. Who hurt you? Yeah. Shroud of Turin. No. Intelligent design. Yes. Yes. Have evidence. They haven't. Nobody said they've had evidence, but they've given evidence. So I'll put that down. Why not? Something stupid is a free space. Obviously, that's been given in spades tonight. See you in hell. Technically, no. Who created you? Yeah, yeah. Nobody's asked that yet. Something from nothing. Somebody's asked that. Happens when we die. Create a universe. And yeah. So how many ways do I have bingo? I have bingo 1, 2, 3, 4 ways. Hell yeah. Didn't try hard enough. LMAO. I bet you know that know the way God wants you to follow. I would imagine if another issue with why I deconstructed is that why does God have to be so ritualistic in the way that he wants you to follow him, right? Trying hard enough, trying the right way, the wrong way, this, that, and the third. Why does there got to be a right and wrong way for us to follow the self-evidently true, all-powerful, perfect creator of the universe. It's like, come on, man. I say you are wrong. You believe you are God. I don't accept your invitation to talk about non-points. I never said that, so let's maybe not do that. Those that see you in hell are admitting that they don't live up to their standard. Yeah, that too, right? Kind of give themselves away with that one. Bible's a sort of look at the history, especially the Old Testament. I believe there's maybe was a good guy named Jesus. He taught them the golden rule and won against the Hebrews. Um, Possibly, sure, but Son of God, that's the part I care about. Let's see. A typical attention-seeking man past 30 is comical. I'm gonna make things a little bit less comical for you really quickly and get you on out of here. First, I'm not past 30, just technically. I'd be honored to be called past 30 because, like, I don't know. I had a friend recently that died at the age of 33, so I consider it an honor to age, but not the case. If you think this is just like seeking attention when I can do it a lot better, I don't know. You haven't been here long enough, and you won't get to be here ever again. So, skadoosh. Have a good one. Take care. Creation has to get in tandem with nonsense somewhere. Has to get in tandem with nonsense? What do you mean? Just joined and want to ask what made you an atheist. Main reasons. The biggest main issue and the one and only reason I stay away from the one and only reason I call myself an atheist in particular is that I don't see any evidence that God exists. I'm 28. I'm 29. I'm right there. But if we're gonna be antagonistic, just be a bitch. Then at the very least, like get my age right, right? Did you know that 1 in 8,000 men have micro wieners? If this chat's any indication, I think they're congregating here.
It's Matariki tomorrow, so happy Matariki.
Hey.
Sparkles emoji, glowing star emoji, Milky Way emoji,
okay.
Shooting star emoji.
Hell yeah, dude. Thank you for the $3.49 New Zealand. Happy Maori New Year to you. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Let's get a W for the Maori New Year tomorrow in New Zealand. You only need one reason. I wouldn't say I only need one reason, but I say well, at least we could start with no reasons. I'm at 0 reasons right now. Bob, I'm gonna go get you on out of here. You can take 5 minutes. Take 5 minutes. Maybe we can like get the sugar out of our system and come back. But yeah, thank you again for the $3.49 New Zealand. I sincerely appreciate it. Age usually means wisdom. For adherents, not so much. I love how you call them adherents too. I think that's the perfect word for them. What about Bob? I loved that movie growing up. I used to have it on VHS. That was one of my jams. Do I believe in the Big Bang? I acknowledge that the Big Bang happened because there's more than enough evidence showing it to be the case. There's no need to ascribe agency to life. What does it have to be? Someone that created everything? We simply exist. We don't know why, and that's okay. Yeah, they ascribe agency really to everything when you think about it, right? Agency to the creation of the universe. Agency to why things go bump in the night. Agency to what happens to when we die. It's funny how that works. Fucking douche. You say you don't believe in God. That's correct. But when you take God's word and think you can make a judgment of it over him, then you think you are God. Oh, it was an implication. Okay, fair. Yeah, if by I think I'm God, meaning I as a being with the ability to think, am using my ability to think to see if the thing that I'm reading meets my my moral standards, my logical standards, and the narrative standards of itself, then you can say I'm calling myself God if you want to. I think that's still not the case, but just I'm not interested. It's not. I feel like it's a false dichotomy between you're not blindly following a thing and you think you are God. Does the God particle exist? The God particle is the Higgs boson, and it's not called the God particle because of like its evidence for a divine being in any way. Be a Christian again? I'll pass on that. Do you believe in? I already answered you, Derp Kiwi. If you continue to spam it, it's just I'm gonna get you on out of here. Got to be a mindless follower to believe in God. Got it. Yeah, exactly. Anything other like that's another big reason why I left is because like the truth doesn't mind being questioned. Throwback to my bio on every platform, but the truth doesn't mind being questioned, and a lie doesn't like being challenged. So, self-evidently true, all-powerful, all good, all loving, everywhere, knowing everything God wants you to just not think about it. Don't lean on your own understanding. Blessed are those who believe without seeing. It's like, come on, man. Vontae Cole. Sounds like we're kind of sad tonight. Sounds like we're not having a good time. Sounds like we like scrolled into a stream. We don't like that somebody's having an honest discussion, and we're just like, let me just say he's rage baiting for money, even though he's made like $2 this stream. I'm gonna go and get you on out of here. You have a good rest of your night. Appreciate you, but yeah, we're not doing that. Skadoosh. Take care, Vontae. And also, that's a cringe way to spell Vontae. You can challenge it all day, no problem with that. I'll never be pissed. Well, hell yeah. You should change your screen to former atheist, now a Bushism believer. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Also, what's up, the guy? How do you feel about prophecies coming to pass? I'm not seeing a prophecy that's coming to pass. I'm seeing Barnum statements, proven to be true. Wars and rumors of wars have been that since the literal beginning of time. So, or at least the beginning of humanity. So sure, but other than that, I'm not seeing a prophecy coming to pass. Skadoosh. Your statement presupposes God doesn't exist. What does? By following the subjective worldview, you fundamentally, oh boy, here we go with the Phil Bros, fundamentally lack action in your own life, and by doing so, exist as unformed, moving, and immaterial particles floating through nothingness. Let's see how many bad takes we can fit into one Phil Bro word vomit really quickly. Following a subjective worldview, everybody's worldview is subjective. You fundamentally lack action in your own life. I mean, that's just objectively false. By doing so, exists as unformed. Unformed? I mean, it's possible for things to form just without a person forming them, right? So that's stupid. Unformed, moving, done, moving, immaterial, that's just objectively false. Particles floating through nothingness. Space isn't nothingness, so you're like 1 for 5. I don't know how the fuck you answered that one. Yeah, I got you, King Drummond. I'll do one better. Instead of muting you, I'll get you out forever. You're not somebody I want in my stream ever again. If you're intent on not being here for an honest discussion, that's completely fine. But just like thinking, oh, if I come in, show how much of a sensitive little bitch I am, and say, please mute me, he won't do it. No, I'm gonna mute you, and I'm gonna mute you to the end of time. Skadoosh. Have a good rest of your life. You won't be back. Just because someone says they're a Christian doesn't mean that they're godlike or that they will get into heaven. I'm not seeing how I said anything otherwise. Universal proofs of monotheism across different cultures and religions that are logically true. If you read this, I can expand on that. By all means, expand on it. Better yet, expand on it to the Nobel Committee. Expand on it to me first. I'm not going to, try to be as disingenuous with you on that, but like expand it to the Nobel community first. If it's like monotheism is something that's just so objectively proven beyond a shadow of a doubt, you can convert the whole world right now into either Sikhism or Zoroastrianism or Judaism. I mean, if you're like Gnostic, maybe not, but Christianity, Islam, whatever you want. How do you view order coming from disorder when science claims things naturally become more disorderly rather than order? I think order and disorder are both subjective terms, right? There's no objective standard to demonstrate what's orderly, what's disorderly. You could like, what standard are you using to reach that determination? You know how you say you grew up in the church and don't believe now, and the polar opposite, I came from a dark place and believe with all my heart. Well, I'm glad you found what works for you, Black Hawk Crew, but just we're fundamentally different in that regard. You didn't get shunned. You're a liar. Are you talking to me? You just described monotheist religions. Somebody said monotheist religions, right? Somebody said, and I quote, oh wait, no, that's a different one. There are universal proofs of monotheism across different cultures. Wait 1 second.
Laplace's demon is a mind experiment. He is a potential deity that has infinite knowledge of every atom in the universe and its state. Calculates the future and past from one slice of time. Research it. Nothing religion.
Self-sacrifice. Thank you so much for the $20 super chat. I appreciate it. A potential deity that has infinite knowledge of every atom in the universe and its state, calculates the future and past from one slice of time. I'll try to look out for you like an explanation of it. I'm not gonna research it right now and take away from me looking at the rest of the chat. I'll just try to look out extra hard for you. But what are the purposes of the experiment in that regard? But thank you so much for the $20 super chat. I sincerely appreciate that. Thank you. But yeah, somebody said that they have let me look at it again. Universal proofs of monotheism across different cultures and religions that are logically true. I describe monotheistic religions in turn, right? If the proof he has is for monotheistic religions being true, then you know, he would have to naturally believe that at least one of them are true, right? But yeah, thank you again so much for the $20 super chat. I'll sincerely appreciate that. There's an actual scientific definition of order and disorder, and what end to what end does science, quote unquote, since we're not talking out of our ass apparently, to what end does science determine order and disorder? If we're misunderstanding like entropy, then sure, at that point, I'll be happy to send you resources to correct you on that. But if you're going to use the terms order and disorder, what objective standard can you use to determine the orderliness of something versus disorder? And how our planet is moving toward this standard of order versus against disorder when science says that entropy increases. One obvious proof is that across all cultures there is some mention of God. The reason that it's a valid proof that there is a God because a universal mention of something is how we verify things are true. That's proof of God, not necessarily monotheism, but I'll expand on that. So I'll say I'll disagree with you on that one. I feel like people making up religions, or at least religious, maybe not texts, but stories, and that these religions are monotheistic comes down to humans anthropomorphizing answers to unanswerable questions first, rather than that they are simply being given some sort of information from some monotheistic god to get them to at least some notion of monotheism. It makes a lot more sense to me that people who didn't know where the sun goes at night are going to make up something that's just like us, but that has the ability to cause the sun to go down is what's causing it, rather than like there actually being something that they're alluding to, or that's like, let me give these people one conception of what I am. Let me give these other people a conception of what I am. These other people a conception. I think if it were true that people come up with monotheistic mythologies, for lack of a better word, I think that's better. Let me not word salad this really quickly. I think people coming up with monotheistic religions better explains why polytheistic religions exist, and also explains why people end up as an atheist or a born atheist, rather than like there's some true monotheistic God out there that's giving people false information. Right.
Basically, if one John Doe suddenly had infinite time and place knowledge and calculation capacity, he could tell you the distant future in perfection.
Got it. Thank you for the $5 self-sacrifice. Okay, so it's putting things into more. I probably just got to research it afterward because I don't want you to like waste your money getting my attention or anything. It's not the purpose of the stream, but I'll probably have to research it afterward. I got to see what the purpose of the thought experiment is, because it sounds like we're just describing like a potential, maybe slightly less religiously traditional conception of a god in this case, right? But if you want, I'll just like put a tab up. I'll research it afterward instead of you like sending me more cash to better explain it to me. But I sincerely appreciate the $5 super chat as well as the $20 super chat. Thank you so much. I see the order and design of the universe and believe it's logical to conclude there's a designer, much like how if I see a stack of folded laundry, I conclude someone put it there. So that's a false analogy, right? You can compare a stack of folded laundry to a stack of unfolded laundry, and compare that against a universe where laundry, doesn't exist on its own and stack itself on its own and fold itself on its own, where we can't do the same for the universe. There's no outside universal standard for us to determine why the universe's behavior that we do have, if it indicates design or not, or intelligence or not. So just on that case, that kind of destroys the idea that it's tuned, because you don't know what it's being tuned toward. But even beside that point, I mean, if we could, I don't know, I'm not seeing what aspect of the universe necessitates design or intelligence behind it. For every the sun gives us plants that we can eat, I can point to the oceans are so salty that 97% of them are undrinkable, right? For every the trees give off oxygen for us to breathe, I can point out the fact that tectonic plates can shift in a way that cause earthquakes and tsunamis. What evidence do you think you need for you to believe? I wouldn't say I don't know. I say the most optimal evidence would be the most optimal evidence would be like something undeniable, like a phone call, right? If God were to call my phone right now and say like, um, "It's me, I'm God. Here's to prove it. Here's something that only I could possibly know because you haven't told anybody else this," then that'd be maybe convincing. But until then, I don't know. A good logical argument would work. A good something, some historical archaeological evidence that shows that God is the conclusion and can't be any other way, that will work for me. It doesn't make logical sense to say the universe either existed since the beginning or created itself. I can expand on why neither of these are logical if you want. I feel like that's a false dichotomy. Um, did I say the universe, let's see, existed since the beginning? That implies a beginning. I don't believe in a beginning. I believe in a time that's expanding, or at the very least, being experienced um, from one point of a timeline that expands infinitely in both directions rather than just like there being a defined beginning. So if you want to use like the train analogy or like the hotel analogy, that would work if it presupposes a beginning that I simply don't presuppose. So I don't agree with that point. um your second half of your false dichotomy was at the beginning, like the universe created itself. I obviously don't believe that's the case. In the same way, you don't believe that God's existed since the beginning. You don't believe he had a beginning. It says that in Revelation that he doesn't have a beginning. And that you also don't believe that God created itself. You believe that God is eternal. I believe that the universe is simply eternal. In physics, the terms order and disorder designate the presence or absence of some symmetry or correlation in a many particle system. Okay, so what part of the universe is moving toward this standard of disorder? And that's, how do I best say this? Somebody said that the proof for God is that, or at least an internal critique on my position was that the universe is moving toward disorder, and yet we still see order, or that our planet or whatever is moving toward order. Um, let's substantiate that with the definition that you gave for order. You need to admit your sins to come to Christianity. What the fuck have you been? But beside the point. Admit my sins to come to Christianity. Sure, I beat my meat horrifically just a couple hours ago. Absolutely horrifically. I'm a Christian now. Logically, it only makes sense that the universe is created by. Oh, we're just still going off our point. Okay, well, maybe address my point and then, like, I'll get back to you. I see the order and design of the universe and I believe it's like, oh, we're just still copy pasting. And so, yeah, I wouldn't say this is how I know I've won, but it doesn't bode well that we have scripts written out for prepackaged points and that we're just recycling the points rather than just like addressing the things that I say about why the analogy is false. Who named their what? Why did you name your fucking what? Broken chains? Are we fucking joking, dude? Hello, hello, hello. If your phone rings, can you answer it, please? Sure, why not? Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. Yeah, fuck it. Why not? Anyway, wait.
Do you take a hard God does not exist stance or a soft like belief thereof one?
Thank you for the $5, Ziggy. I take more of like a soft stance on it. I'm agnostic about the idea of something that caused the universe to exist in the way that it does, that doesn't have to abide by the laws of the universe in some way. I'm agnostic to it. I don't think energy or time are created, but it's possible that something could have caused it to form into the current universe that we have in some way. But I feel like it's unknowable, and that people who believe in such a thing can't substantiate their belief in the thing. So that's why I'm an atheist about it. But I'm definitely soft about it. I feel like I'm atheistic about the idea of it even being a knowable position in the first place. So if that answers your question, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Appreciate you so much. Thank you. I will take that $5. I will buy a hot and ready in 2008. Have you been to another planet? How do you know it is what they say it is? What do you mean? From what I understand, you believe the universe exists since the beginning. Okay, no. Now we're in the not listening portion of the stream. Hate to see it. Oh boy, here, I'll read the rest of it. You believe the universe existed since the beginning, which isn't logical because the universe is constantly expanding. Something that is growing must have had a start. So the Big Bang that you're referencing with the expansion of the universe, all it claims is that the universe expanded from a previously hot, dense state. That's lit. Hot, dense, smaller state than it currently is. That's literally it. The universe was small and then expanded. The Big Bang Theory does not claim that the universe started existing at that point. The quantum eternity theorem even suggests that the energy, if it was present at the point of the universe expanding, that energy has always existed in some form. So, no, that's not what the Big Bang claims. You know, the universe's expansion doesn't mean that the stuff that makes up the universe and started expanding, like, just didn't exist and started existing. It's not what physicists claim. So, genuine scientific misunderstanding, but that's maybe not straw man my position, right? Tyson, all right, I'm gonna get you on out of here. You're stuck in NPC mode. Your dialogue tree is broken. I guess I can cuss you really fucking hard on the on my dissection of your analogy, and you're just like, let me just keep repeating it, and hopefully that'll make it true. You don't get to speak anymore. Have a good rest of your night. Skadoosh. Uncaused cause argument is so not base chat. I sincerely agree. Yeah, it's just like special pleading at best. It's a mixture of special pleading and composition fallacy. Composition in that things have a cause within the universe, and the universe itself has to have one, and then special pleading in that God doesn't have to have one. Do you believe in Homer, the author of the Iliad? Sure, why not? Why didn't God put any evidence if he created the universe? Yeah, like, and one could argue like God just chose for, the universe to not have evidence, sure, but at that point, why believe that God exists at all? And secondly, if God wants a relationship with us, why not leave evidence? It's unknowable if there was energy in the beginning of the universe, right? It's unknowable if it's unknowable. It's how do I say this? It's unknowable to know if there was a beginning in the first place, right? When you say beginning of the universe, you're saying the universe went from a state of not existing to existing, not existing to existing. The universe didn't exist and now it exists. That is a misunderstanding of the Big Bang. That's the point I'm trying to get across. Do I believe in parallel universes? I personally don't. There's just not enough good evidence for me to believe in them, but I'm wholly agnostic about it. I think it's one of those like completely unknowable positions that it's just, I mean, I'm agnostic about God too in that regard, right? If you do the job well enough, no one can really be sure if you did anything or not. Yeah, fair, right? I understand that my statement's not stream related, but you should read mine, please. Sure, why not? What do you got to say here? Do I feel guilty leaving Christianity? I do not anymore. I don't owe it to anybody to stay in it. So, but back when I first left, I absolutely did. Yeah, it was not very good. I'm not scrolling back up. Just resend Immortal. Is there some other place to have this discussion? It's hard to explain such a deep topic in 200 words. If not, it's fine. But most of the messages I send you are incomplete. If you're over the age of 18, you can join my Discord. We love to have you in there. Or you can like add me on Snapchat if you want to. I guess I don't. I mean, that's I don't know if you want to go on there, but only if you're over 18 for both of those. But yeah, those are the two that I read most often. How did it get here from nothing to something? I never said there was nothing. Please don't straw man my position. No matter how long this goes on, all this comes down to beliefs. I would say I tend to agree for sure. And that's kind of the point I'm trying to get across is like there's no good logically stands up to logical scrutiny reason to necessarily believe that God is the only possible cause of our universe. If the universe didn't exist at some point, then did exist what was before it? I mean, there's no claims of the universe. Are we listening? I'm gonna take another hit really quickly. Are we fucking listening at this point? I don't know if you're like maybe asking the Christians or something, but I'm gonna say it for the last time for the people that are in here. If somebody new says it, that's fine. If they didn't hear me say it this time, but I'm gonna say this one last time. The universe isn't claimed to have started existing at the point of the Big Bang. It's claimed to have expanded at the point of the Big Bang. It didn't go from a state of not existing to existing, or at the very least, that is not the claims made by the people studying the fucking thing, right? It's claimed to have went from a point of small, hot, dense to less dense, cooler, and bigger. That's literally it. So if somebody just continues, it's the point of like how to go from nothing to something. Where did it create it? If it began, I'm just gonna mute you because you're not listening. That's really about as far as we can get there. I get that, but aren't we just making assumptions on faith rather than scientific evidence for the externality of the universe and energy, time, etc.? Making assumptions on faith rather than scientific evidence. If you're talking about like my hypothesis of like an eternal universe, I would say sure. I wouldn't call it faith. I would say there's at least a good logical reason to think it's the case. Sure, um, but I'm not seeing a parallel there personally. Making hypothesis and assumption is part of the discovery process, and it becomes theorizing and trying to prove. And there you go, right? If God is all knowing, he knows exactly what would convince you of his presence and either does not have the power to or refuses to. Right. You can maybe argue is going to, but hasn't done so yet. That makes logical sense too, I guess. But, you know, or you could say maybe the parts of the Bible or other theologies that claims that God wants to have a relationship in some way, those are false and those written by humans and that they're not true, in which case also possible. But yeah, it makes a lot more sense that it's just a big lie. He doesn't exist. If the big bang created the universe, how did water start to exist? All right, I'm gonna get you on out of here. I'm gonna stop. Where can I find your Discord? I'm over 18. Funny you say that. Literally 2 messages before Streamlabs giving you my links. Click the beacons link that Streamlabs just sent. It'll be You'll see it. You'll see the icon for it in one of the tabs. Click the tab. It'll be the top one. Girl, put your records on. Tell me your favorite song. You know I love you with your hair down. It's all just guesses like turtles. Turtles are all the way down. Feynman said it could be like an onion with more and more layers. Turtles? What does turtles have to do with this? God can make everyone smart. He still needs the silliest soldiers to defend. It seems like he's only sending his silliest, right? Skadoosh total must be 20 now. It's been a Skadoosh heavy stream. Have you heard about NDEs? I've read some NDEs, yeah. And the biggest eye-opening part of NDEs for me was the fact that people claim to have seen different things that lead to different religious beliefs based on the religion that they were already familiar with. To elaborate on that, I forget the site. I really got to look for the site again. But people were giving like their NDE testimonies, and a couple of the articles I read were in Arabic. Some were in English, but they were from people with like West Asian names, right? Like I don't know, it's whatever fucking West Asian name you can think of, right? Omar, Zena, Muhammad, obviously, but people more so see in NDEs things that they're already familiar with religiously, if they see anything religious at all. People who speak English and claim to have been from America and like maybe Africa, or like there are a few Australians that wrote in about it, and they claim to have seen Jesus, God, hell, heaven, some way. People that were from Islamic cultures like West Asia, North Africa, East Africa, in some parts, they claim to have seen Muhammad, like the abstraction of Muhammad or the abstraction of Allah in some way. And then the couple of people I saw that wrote something about seeing Vishnu or Krishna or Shiva in some way, they happen to be from India. And so it makes a lot more sense to me that people are writing about things that they hallucinated after their brains deprived of oxygen, releasing DMT, trying to calm itself down during a time of, death and trying to stay alive, rather than just like everybody seeing mutually exclusive but all nonetheless true ideas, right? There have been no prophecies proven. It's been correlation, but no causation and confirmation bias. 100%. Dude, why we gotta keep doing this, man? Are you 12? Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. Fuck out of here. Hawk Tua. You've seen Jesus? Have you? Why should I believe you? Wish you luck, brother. Jesus will come back with open arms, and so will all true Christians. Peace and love. I'd rather join Hinduism, but thank you for being here, Clint. Definitely thought that was going to be a D's nuts moment just listening. Nah, I would never. I would never do something so silly on stream. Of course not. If God loved us, why doesn't he just come and kill the devil already? Fantastic questions, right? When's demon time or Christian time? After I restart. I'm gonna restart here soon. Probably in the next like couple minutes, like 7 minutes. I'll get this VOD to 2 hours. Why not? You should open up your third eye chakra. You know, I'm about to cut. It would be a lot more convincing if they saw a God they didn't know existed. Yeah, exactly right. If some person from an uncontacted tribe somewhere, but that was kind of near civilization enough, died and was rushed to the hospital, and he woke up and he saw like said like, oh, I saw this inscription, like a pure light in the sky with this inscription, and it so happened to be the Arabic word for Allah. Then I mean that'll be kind of interesting, right? But everybody's seeing something they already know about. I mean, make it make sense. Could you travel back in time and prevent himself from creating the universe? Oh, could God travel back in time and prevent himself from creating a universe? Could God, since God knows everything, does he know what it's like to take a dick? I got that one from Ian. Can you skadoosh me, please? I'm going to bed. W stream, by the way. I sure can. You have a good rest of your night, mortal. Take care. Have a good one. But you will not be back tonight. You will be a sleepy guy. Skadoosh. Skadoosh. Should you give your proofs of monotheism in a debate channel? I'm assuming so. Yep, the debate channel. I know the general looks like a piece of shit right now, but we had to go to war earlier, so the debate channel is the place. One thing I have to do research on would be is if Jesus died for all sins, past and present, but what about those people who didn't get to witness Jesus? Yeah, imagine all the cavemen burning in hell right now, just just burning for all of eternity because they were born way too early. No, he went to hell when he died. Did he save those who didn't receive? Well, who's to say? Book of Revelation. What about the Book of Revelation? Oh, has anybody read? Yeah, I've read the Book of Revelation twice. Do we milk Gecko now or will we restart and eat my Milky? What the fuck am I reading? After we restart, I'm going to restart in like 5 minutes. If evolution was left unhindered, do you suppose that the highest form of evolution would be God? No. Because to be God, you have to do things that are physically impossible for it to be done, right? Like to form matter from nothing or something like that. I think even if evolution were only to get to making people stronger or more powerful or whatever, we still would only be at best like, I don't know, Superman, you know? So, but evolution doesn't even work like that. So I'd say just no one-off runs. Did you understand Revelation? What's there to understand about it? Sounds like we're trying to leave a trap door open. Doesn't Hebrews 11 cover the born too early to know Jesus question? Probably. Classic Christian behavior where everything is spiritual and superstitious. I once heard demons coming through a TV, turn it off, or something, or the anointing stupid stuff, or laying hands, or not witchcraft. Yeah, exactly. I was watching a video not that long ago. It kind of reminded me of this. I did a short a couple months ago, where I had to look for a bunch of videos of people like doing praise dances and shit. It's obvious which one. And I saw this one where there was this woman, she was possessed, supposedly, allegedly, and she was just like screaming her nuts off or whatever. And dude just like laid hands over her and it's like, whatever the fuck. And she's like, oh, I will never come back again. I am Jesus, and all this stuff. And so you can't tell me this stuff isn't just like complete and total witchcraft at best and complete mental illness at worst. The Book of Job is detailed manual on how to get a job. The Book of Job, of course. Have you ever read the Saturn Trails, though? The Bible is a condenser. There's more to the story that was cut out, like after Noah's Ark. I haven't read it, but if it doesn't do anything to expand on why the supernatural stuff happened, then it's just probably not going to be for me. We got 2 minutes left. What do we do with the last 2 minutes? I'm going to be back here in a minute. I'm going to change the prompt to just like an Ask Me Anything stream, like like normal, but I don't know. What do we do with these 2 minutes? I'm going to take a hit of this tree, though. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get a little bit higher. Speaking of a little bit higher, I got some raspberry donuts coming tomorrow. Yeah, those are going to be fantastic. My mouth is watering right now thinking about those raspberry donuts. They get here like between 7 and 9 a.m. Yeah, that's going to be the good stuff. That's going to be the good stuff. But yeah, what do we do with these last 2 minutes? Can you do the "Would you kill your child if God told you to" again? I will do that as soon. I do that as soon. I will do that one again soon. I got to run that one a little bit earlier though, and also I got to be on TikTok with it because I want to take up guests for it. It's Unchained Skeptic. What's up, Unchained Skeptic? How you doing today? Jesus did wake and bakes. Imagine if that's why he thought he had like magical powers and shit. Actual donuts, they're like, I forget what they're called. In Michigan, we call them like punchkis. Um, but they're it's similar to donuts, like just jelly donuts, basically. Anyway, does the curtain rod have a hood? Wait, what? Are you asking me if I'm circumcised? Is that what we're doing? In which case, yes, I miss my foreskin so much. I never got to know it, but I miss it with everything in me. Unchained Skeptic is an imposter. Yeah, I think so. I saw a video the day before yesterday about some lady getting an exorcism over an oral sex spirit or whatever you wish. You could pull it up. It was funny and scripted, obviously, but can I give you the video? I think I saw that one too. I'll pull it up really quickly with these last couple minutes. I need a laugh. I say last couple like I'm not going to be back in a few minutes, but yeah, it was in an African church if I remember correctly. Oh yeah, here it is. Wait, 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 wait. Why isn't it loading? There we go. There we go. All right, let's do this really quickly. Where's my display capture? Display capture. Let's capture this one instead. Done. Let's expand on that. Let's bring this over here. I don't really need that. I can see all over here. It's whatever. Display capture. Boom. Transform. Where is it? Transform. There we go. Fit to screen. There it is. Hello.
Look at demo. Look at demo. Look, oral sex. Oral sex demo. You see oral sex? Look, oral sex. Look.
Guy knows.
You oral sex. Use oral sex. Let that sperm of that man out. Yeah. May your healing and deliverance be permanent in Jesus' name.
That was a ride. That was a ride. That happened. We were all here for it. Come up from the private. Come up from the private. Come up from the private. Out. Out. Come up from the private. Oral sex. Oral sex demon. Oral sex. I need an oral sex demon immediately. I need that right now. I might just invite an oral sex demon in on this restart. Yeah. I think we're gonna invite an oral sex demon in. Fuck it. I'm in desperate need of a head demon right now. I need a demon that's gonna have me like, oh my god, yeah. You know, it's been a while since I've had a good oral sex demon. I need just a complete and total semen demon, just going at it. You know what I'm saying? The sad part is that they wasn't made by CGI. Yeah, no AI, no nothing, just humans being humans. This is the people Christians want you to take seriously. Imagine, right? Also, what's up, James? Good to see you. How's your day going, man? I'm gonna restart here soon, in like I don't know, like any second now. I'm gonna restart. I'm change the prompts just like an Ask Me Anything stream. I think tomorrow, if my computer can handle it, I'm gonna do the "Would you kill your child if God told you to?" prompt again. Yeah, that's always an eye opener. That was one of my bread and butter streams back when I was streaming on TikTok. That was a wild one. I need a demon to fill every hole. Yeah, I need the demons to go down on me for sure. I saw one of those on Christian Mingle. If you were looking, no fucking way. Should I like in the future after I do my face reveal and everything? Should I like make an account on Christian Mingle and just troll? I think that'll be hilarious. New content idea unlocked. Yeah, I'm writing that one down. I got so many content ideas for the future. I think that's gonna be one of them. Yeah, that's huge. 1 second, let me write it down before I forget. Let's put you out of here. Don't need that. I don't need that. Notepad. content ideas. There we go. There we are. Alrighty. I'll be right back. Stream is kind of demonic within itself. Demonic's definitely a word that exists. Is this life really all about amusing ourselves? It depends on, I mean, I'd say it's completely up to you, right? It's your life. You're the pilot of the plane. So, by all means, it's up to you to decide if you want to, like, spend your life just amusing yourself. But, I mean, that's the thing I enjoy the most, right? He's going to get banned from Christian Mingle like I got banned from Grinder. You got banned from Grinder. I haven't been on Grinder. I don't know. I feel like that'll be a little bit too over the head to make content about Grinder, but yeah, Christian Mingle will be hilarious. I'm already banned on Tinder. I might as well just like collect bans on every platform now. But anyway, I'll see y'all in a minute. I'm gonna go like drink some water, take a piss or something. Put water out and bring water in. What do you think about Alex O'Connor? I love Alex O'Connor. He's a lot more patient than I am. I wish to have his level of patience. I'm gonna copy off of his video ideas for my next long form video though. Yeah, a quick little, you know. But to be fair though, there's only so many things you can do within the space. Whatever you want to do in the space, somebody's probably done it before. So, but I got inspired by, because I first learned about. I'm not gonna say what my next long form video is gonna be. It's gonna be out in the next few days or whatever. I'm probably gonna record it tomorrow, but yeah, I mean, I first learned about the site that I'm going to use for the video from him, so I don't know. Should you get a job? It's a dirty ass word, dude. We don't talk about jobs in here. We don't job. Hello, the fuck is a job? Anyway, I'll see y'all in a